Some people got away all right. Well, they have busted through, cleared down the Plaquemine. 6 feet of water in the streets of Evangeline. Louisiana, Louisiana, they're trying to wash us away. They're trying to wash us away. Louisiana, Louisiana, they're trying to wash us away. They're trying to wash us away.
Hey, here we are again tonight at Good Rockin' Tonight for the Louisiana Music Hall of Fame. We're at Scoreboards on Coursey Boulevard, and it's really a nice place. They have great food in this place, by the way. A little later, we'll probably show you some of it, or we might see some of it, or something like that. But my first guest on tonight's show is John Eric Hayes.
Right.
Known musically as John Eric.
Right.
And you may remember John from the Isosceles Popsicle, the Elements, the Rude Boys.
Mm-hmm.
Did I miss anything?
Oh, you missed a lot.
I missed a couple that weren't so popular in the outer world.
Right. Well, it's I was originally born in Jamaica, West Indies.
Mm-hmm.
Moved to Bunkie, Louisiana. That's culture shock there.
Yeah, I'm not going to comment on that, but you were absolutely right.
Yeah. Well, Bunkie though, my brother and I started a little band down there called the Barracudas.
Okay.
And we put out a record. Buddy King was our manager, and he put us out a record on Zundak label called Baby Get Lost.
I remember Buddy.
Do you?
Yeah.
And we did a lot of gigs all over Louisiana, Mississippi, Arkansas, Texas, but not much further than that. We were called Bunkie's answer to the Beatles. We did a lot of Beatles stuff.
Whatever the answer was. Okay, I got it.
And one day, we played at a club here in town called the Blue Bull. Remember the Blue Bull?
Yell North.
Yeah, and that's after the gig, a guy named Billy Powell walked up to me and said, I'm looking for a singer in front of the band, which wasn't a problem because the band was about to break up anyway. So.
And he didn't care, trust me.
We were all graduating from high school, so we were going to split it up anyway.
Knowing Billy, he might have done that for a reason.
Yeah.
Get rid of the band, take the singer. Next.
And so I joined Jimmy and the Offbeats for a while. And then they changed the name to the Isosceles Popsicle.
So you were the one that did that?
No, I didn't do it. Billy Powell did that. He as a matter of fact, he started...
I know Billy Powell did it. You know I know.
Yeah.
Billy and I are like brothers.
But he changed it also to John Eric and the Isosceles Popsicle. I'm not sure how well that...
In fact, whoever's in the truck, we have a card, if we can show the business card from back then, of Jimmy and the Offbeats. They'll put it up someplace. There you go.
There you go. That's Isosceles Pops. And there's Billy. Ah, look at that.
Yeah. With Soul Man the Roadie.
Yeah.
Right next to Joel, who wasn't there long either.
Jerry Amorosa.
Jerry Amorosa. Jerry was originally of Jimmy and the Offbeats.
Right.
So was Jimmy.
So was
Bankhead,
Jimmy.
the bass player.
So was Donnie Short.
And Donnie Short. And Donnie's gone. And my
Billy.
friend Billy is gone.
Right.
And Jimmy probably ain't playing bass anytime soon. If you hear that out there, Lenny, I said, Jimmy's probably not playing bass anytime soon. That's for Lenny Capella. And Lenny wrote a song for y'all a little later. It was a great band. We went back for years to the old frat party days.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Where Billy, if you can believe in Billy's personality, he actually accused a fraternity of being Animal House when he got to 62. The Deeks. Yeah, we played them. Mm-hmm. We did. I think I actually played them on Billy's organ. A few songs with Billy went from the side because he didn't want to be on the stage in the Deek house. Okay, moving right along now. So y'all became the Popsicle,
Right?
and now Jerry didn't stay long with the Popsicle, did he?
No, I think I'm not even sure why that happened, but it wasn't had anything to do with me. I mean,
Yeah.
it was I guess Billy's decision. He was the boss of the Popsicle. So, but he went on to be with Pot Liquor.
Pot Liquor, yeah.
Yeah, and he did well. Did real well.
Billy may have seen the writing on the wall. And Jerry Amorosa will be on in a couple of weeks also. Pot Liquor's a Hall of Fame band.
Yeah. They're already in there, aren't they?
Mhm.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Oh yeah, they're in. Inducted them. Jerry was very happy about that.
I bet.
And Les was not present. And George was passed. George is gone.
Yeah, well.
So, we all get old.
Yeah. Then I
See-
left
You
Billy
go ahead.
and the Popsicle. I left him to go to a band. Somebody came to me to one of those fraternity houses that we were playing back then, and he was from a band who was playing in another house like next door or something. He's from New Orleans. A guy named Johnny Spade. It was a band called Paper Steamboat out of New Orleans, and they needed a singer. But he made
You
him
mentioned Johnny Vindigna
Vindigny,
before
yeah.
the show. Johnny was with Paper
With Paper
Steamboat.
I took his place 32 singers later.
Okay.
In a short period of time, 32 singers they went through. And they finally ended up with me.
Well, and I ended up with a couple of the band for Eternity's Children. Don Normand,
Yeah.
Johnny, Fat Johnny,
Yeah. Yeah.
and was Deacon with the band, with Steamboat?
Not when I was in it. I don't know. I don't even know.
Because I stole Deacon from somewhere too, the keyboard player.
Okay, no, it's keyboard.
DeVilliers.
Yeah. Wayne DeVilliers.
Wayne DeVilliers.
He wrote the flip side of that song I did later.
Really?
The solo thing there, it's Spodio. The flip side is Who's the Blue, written by Wayne DeVilliers and some other guy. So it's a small world.
I didn't ever know that he wrote anything. He was a great keyboard player.
Yeah, well, I got it off of an album that he was on. It wasn't just him. I cannot remember the name of the band, for the life of it, but I did like that song.
Well, I put those three with Linda and Charlie.
That was a good band. Attorneys.
Yeah, that was
one of my
the
favorites.
last incarnation in the 70s, 73, 74.
Yeah, 73, 74, I was already in and out of the Army. Because, as I was about to say, since I left Popsicle to go to Paper Steamboat, they drafted me. And about 2 years down the road, they got me.
Well, we had to get Deacon because they drafted Kid.
Yeah.
And we won't go into that story.
Right,
That's
right.
a great story, but Kid ended up in Leavenworth.
Oh,
So it's not a great story.
no, it doesn't
And they
sound like it.
decided they jailed him that they didn't want him in the Army. That's the thought.
Yep.
All right,
Well,
what is
anyway.
Okay.
Well, after Paper Steamboat, I got in Dale Murray was in
Yeah, no deal.
the band.
Back to Bill Dunham of the Mersey Sounds,
Right. Well, he was in Buffalo. No, he was in Sweet Pepper. But anyway.
which is before Buffalo.
Right. Buffalo became Sweet Pepper. But I did that solo thing with Bob Robin producing the records at Stax in Memphis, which was a good experience, man. I met Roy Head and a bunch of people over there.
Good
And
time.
Steve Cropper was the producer.
Steve's in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
He asked me one night, he says, look, man,
Is he from Louisiana?
I married a girl from Shreveport.
Oh,
I've been
okay.
married to her for 30-something years. Can I get something? Yes, Steve. For writing Mustang Sally and Dock of the Bay
Right.
and several dozen other things. Yeah, I'd like to have you in the Hall of Fame as a special member.
Yeah.
So, Steve's in.
Yeah, I'm good. Can't believe I met him, but I was only like, I guess I was about 23 then. I'd just come out of the Army.
Well, I had Steve at a thing we did at the Eagles Club. And at the Eagles Club, everybody was saying, is that Steven Seagal? Because he gained a little weight and he had a black coat on and a ponytail and a beard. No, Steven's right, but Seagal's wrong. So
then next,
you were telling me about
well,
Sweet
Buffalo.
Pepper.
Sweet Pepper, yeah. Buffalo.
That is Buffalo. Well, a
Well,
bunch of Buffalo.
Right, it was a bunch of Buffalo, but Buffalo, Frankie Radowski was here at Buffalo. Remember Frankie? He died in that boating accident.
Frankie and I were real good friends. I remember well.
And Sweet Pepper was like a rehash of them, of Buffalo, but cleaned up as
And led to LaRue.
Right.
There's Petey, Dave
Right,
Peters,
right.
Bobby Campo. Both went with LaRue. Dale.
Dale Murray went. He stayed with me, but he went off to be with. We did have another guy. And I cannot remember. The keyboard player used to play at the Village all the time. Phil. No, was it Phil? No, I can't remember his name.
I'm trying to remember the name too.
Sorry
You
about
said the
that.
Village, and I focused in on Vince DiStefano.
Yeah, but no, not. It was the.
I remember him. I can't remember his
I'm not
name.
even sure if it was the Village, to be honest with you, but he was a keyboard player, solo keyboard player.
Yeah.
He was in that band too. They went on to LaRue. We became, I took off with Randy Jackson. There was a couple of bands in between, but Randy Jackson was our bass player that took the place of
Yo
Dale.
Dog, Randy Jackson.
Yeah. American Idol, yeah. And he took Dale Murray's place. Dale Murray went off and played with a band on the road called Delta Freight, which he called me later after Sweet Pepper kind of broke up. He called me and said, will you come play with us? So yeah, I went with him. We traveled all over the country. And we got different members in there, different bass player at one point. Craig Bejon, Louisiana, he ended up playing in that band. Carl Dornier, Gomer. It was
So when you were at the Popsicle, let me ask him. Can you put up the USA Records single that we have in the van? There we go.
90-pound weekly.
90-pound weakling, a Lenny Capella tune. Lenny is one of my best friends, and of course he's Billy's brother-in-law.
Yeah, you didn't know that.
And he's married to Polly Bankhead.
Okay.
Still married to her.
Well, no wonder they were so tight. Yeah.
That'll do it every time.
Yep.
So John, you then end up with what, the Rude Boys
The Rude
or the
Boys-
Elements first?
Well, the Rude Boys were first.
Okay. We could talk about the Rude Boys and the Elements and some more
Okay,
stuff.
sure.
I think we need to take a break right now, if that's all right with everybody in the van. Okay, break.
Louisiana, they're trying to wash us away.
Your dad gave me his baby to go pick up your brother from the airport.
Oh, honey, just take Mom's car. She just had navigation installed.
I totally got this. We were just there.
Hey, isn't that...
Yep. I programmed the airport in, just in case.
You don't need a new car to have new technology. Mike's Audio, conveniently located on Airline Highway near the corner of Bluebonnet.
Frosty the snowman. This is my Christmas wish for you. The precious blessing of each other.
Hi folks, Clarence Buggs here. Coach Roger Cador would take the time to tell you how to catch our brand new show, The Roger Cador Show, but as you can see, he's kind of busy right now out at Scoreboards, Baton Rouge's newest sports grill with food that is absolutely amazing. Catch the show 8 o'clock Tuesday nights, 6:30 p.m. on Wednesdays, and on Pelican Television's YouTube channel as well. You want to come out and have a great time. It's awesome, isn't it, Coach? Mm-hmm. Told you.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me down. Taste the feeling.
Trying to wash us away.
Johnny, you had something you wanted to tell me about Jamaica?
No, not really. I just born there.
Well, I know that.
But
and I know Bunky is you went from water to water.
Yeah, well,
Crawfish Farms.
My great-grandfather founded that town, which is why we moved there from Jamaica.
Really?
Yeah, it used to be Hayesville before it was Bunky. But being a modest man, Colonel Alex, he gave up the name and named it after his daughter's stuffed monkey that she couldn't pronounce. Where's my bunkie? Where's my bunkie?
Okay. I'm not sure that I want to remember that or not.
Yeah, it's even in the history book, Louisiana history book. So.
I remember Bunky for Crawfish Farms.
Mm-hmm. And corn, a lot of corn there too.
A lot of corn.
The corn festival's held there every year.
Probably a lot of soybeans underneath everything.
Yep, anyway.
Well, tell me about the Rude Boys and tell me about the Elements. And I've got a couple of CDs. Now, this one is the latest. The black one is the latest?
Yeah. And it's actually a recut. We added some horns on that, on a couple of songs on there.
Okay.
But
and
you know, both those albums did pretty well overseas.
And Kerry Reese did this.
We used his studio. He engineered.
Old guitar player.
Yeah.
Be interesting. And this says the last one. This one's not available. This one you have some available still.
Sure.
So this one, The Brightness by the Elements. These are still available if y'all want one. This.
You can get them both at Amazon.com or CD Baby if you want. I just don't have that one.
Okay. Well, CD Baby has both of these too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay, that's good to know. And also the Hall of Fame has what you saw in the commercial break, the double disc of the very best Louisiana Christmas. And it's pretty good. In fact, y'all are going to hear that in a couple of weeks, I think, here. A couple of weeks is Christmas.
Christmas. Yeah.
And one other thing we got, and I didn't even know John had done this, with Bob Robin, who's an old producer around Baton Rouge. Jerry Lee Lewis did this, Drinking Wine Spodiodi by John Eric.
Yeah.
And we're going to find a way to make this available. Yeah. Okay, so tell me about your reggae trip.
The reggae trip. Oh yeah, the Elements. Well, you know, since I'm from Jamaica, the Rude Boys kind of broke up for a while, and the Sam Stoff from the Elements asked me to sing with them. So they knew who I was because they were at the catering every Monday night. Just about when they'd finish their rehearsal, they'd come over there and jam with us. So anyway, he seemed to like the way I sang, so I ended up joining the Elements and writing the lyrics and the melodies for all but one song on each of those albums. Those are my lyrics and my melodies. But
Well, now, didn't y'all do an album at one point or something, or is that finished yet?
The
Elements.
well, the Elements did both those albums, but that's the only two that we released.
Ah, you have another one. That's what it is.
Yeah, we have one in the box. I'm not going to talk much about that one, though, because it may not ever come out.
Well, it's not quite finished, right?
Right, exactly. And it's
We talked about that a little bit. And
yeah,
maybe there's a way we can get it finished.
maybe so. That'd be nice.
Be interesting. Now, I want to ask them, y'all played, the Popsicle opened a concert at Independence Hall for me. Who were y'all opening for? I forget.
I don't remember that far
You
back.
too, huh?
I need these notes.
It's, well, I remember the show, definitely. You were fronting the Popsicle with Floyd Brown.
Floyd Brown, yeah.
Yeah. Can't forget that. As I said before, Billy Powell and I were like brothers. And you were on stage, and the band was playing. Billy wasn't, but the keyboard was right there. That was sort of normal. And Floyd didn't think he was going to go over well with the crowd. The crowd was responding great. I wish I could remember who the headline band was. We did so many shows,
Yeah.
about 100 shows.
Yeah, it gets lost in the fuzz, but
Yeah, it was a pretty good crowd too. And let's just say it led to a great stage nickname for Floyd. And that's all I'm going to say, or Floyd will get very
you seen
upset.
Floyd lately?
I saw him at Sam's CD release party.
Oh, okay.
No, I saw him at Eddie Smith did a fundraiser for Butch
All
Lane.
right, for Butch
And
Lane.
Floyd played a piece of that. That's where I saw him.
Eddie was in Buffalo with me. He was the drummer at the time.
Eddie was in
before
Buffalo,
David, before David
and the
Peters.
Popsicle.
Yeah, that's right. But
And
we
now
were in the Popsicle different times.
Yeah, now it's just Eddie Smith.
Right.
Eddie Smith.
Eddie Smith Band.
And he's the star. And I had him at my 50th graduation reunion. I had Eddie play, but I had a different lead vocalist. I had Cookie sing, his brother,
Oh, okay.
from the in crowd.
Cookie is actually Eddie's brother? Okay.
Cookie Smith, Eddie Smith.
Okay. I didn't know that.
And Cookie can still sing great. Great. Thank you, Cookie. It made the whole thing have the songs from 1966 with the guy we knew from because the in crowd played the after party for the graduation in 1966.
Okay.
So it was Hal went to Struma, Cookie went to Glen Oaks, but Hal went to Struma, the guitar player, and his little sister. I think I might have taken her to the prom. Donna. But it was a great nostalgia night to have them play the 50th reunion.
Yeah. Well, good memories, huh? We go back a long way, Mike. We go back a real long way.
Yeah, I do. You ain't too far behind me either. In fact, you just had a birthday like I did.
Yeah.
You were the 4th, right?
The night this show first aired.
Right.
With
First shot. We
Lucas
were here
and
last
Greg,
week
yeah.
when you were having a birthday party, or whatever, right? Your daughter's smiling. But it was interesting. Okay, where's he going? No.
Doesn't matter,
telling.
we're still here.
Oh, we're still here. We're not finished yet. But Johnny, there's something else we're going to talk about, and you made notes. You made a cheat sheet.
Yeah, that's.
When you were on Verve Records also.
Yeah, that was.
And Verve is a subsidiary of MGM. It's a big national label. That's something else Bob Robin did. If we have one of the Verve singles, I think it'd be a good time to pop it up. And yeah,
There's a DJ copy right there.
There you go. Well, I sort of robbed what Billy had when he passed.
Yeah.
And to tell you the truth, we're going to be putting the Popsicle in the Hall of Fame very shortly.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
That's
How's your
real nice.
throat?
My throat hadn't sang in quite a while.
You can
The
sing.
Elements broke up in 2012, and I haven't.
You can sing yada yada yada. That'll
Yeah.
work.
But
You might have been able to sing "I'm the Nice." I'm not sure.
yeah, who's going to be the band?
Bands are easy. Bands are easy, and I don't know who we'd have doing the Popsicle. You know, like Ernie's gone.
Right.
A lot of them are gone. Donnie's gone. Billy's gone. Maybe Jerry will come out, or maybe I can talk Eddie into doing. You know, Eddie's got Robert Hubbard in guitar, and Joey Decker half the time. You know Joey.
Sure. Yeah.
You played with Joey.
Joey jammed with the Rude Boys many times. And so,
I think it'd be a good show, and I think there's a lot of people in Baton Rouge that would enjoy seeing a show honoring the Isosceles Popsicle. You know, I didn't do it because you know how Billy was. Billy would say, I don't want him. I don't want him. Nothing for me.
never would have thought Billy was camera shy.
He just didn't like to be honored and put up on a pedestal or anything of the type. This wasn't Billy.
Okay.
And I respected that. Okay.
I can't wait.
Oh, we can wait for about another 30 seconds. See, he said it before I did, but he was concentrating on it. John, it has been great seeing you here tonight.
Thank you, Mike.
I really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, man. Appreciate it myself.
I'm going to keep the cheat sheet.
Sure.
And I'm going to give you
Oh, good.
Christmas CD.
Fantastic. Thank you very much.
You will probably love it. It's even got a Debbie trailer, a Debbie Gotro
Okay.
cut on it of Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree. So, morning, we out of here. Folks, we'll be back after some commercials with our second guest, John Madison. Okay.
Louisiana, they're trying to wash us away.
Frosty the snowman. This is my Christmas wish for you. The precious blessing of each other. May every man be your brother. This is my Christmas wish for you.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me down. Taste the feeling.
Hi folks, Clarence Buggs here. Coach Roger Cador would take the time to tell you how to catch our brand new show, The Roger Cador Show, but as you can see, he's kind of busy right now out at scoreboards. Baton Rouge's newest sports grill with food that is absolutely amazing. Catch the show 8 o'clock Tuesday nights, 6:30 p.m. on Wednesdays and on Pelican Television's YouTube channel as well. You want to come out and have a great time. It's awesome, isn't it, Coach?
Mm-hmm.
Told you.
Look, your dad gave me his baby to go pick up your brother from the airport.
Oh, honey, just take Mom's car. She just had navigation installed.
I totally got this. We were just there.
Hey, isn't that...
Yep. I programmed the airport in, just in case.
You don't need a new car to have new technology. Mike's Audio, conveniently located on Airline Highway near the corner of Bluebonnet.
Louisiana, Louisiana, they're trying to wash us away. They're trying to wash us away.
Hey, we're back. And John Eric was our first guest. John's an old friend. He's over there now. This is another old friend. Came here in 1969 from Chicago. John Madison.
Thank you, Michael.
Or Pillow.
Pillow.
As everybody knows him. From the band Everybody's Pillow.
Yes, sir.
That's pretty obvious.
Mm-hmm.
Because, of course, he wasn't John Elements, but that's okay. Pillow, you've been a friend for... first, let's show this. This is one of Pillow's groups, Papa Joe and Riverboat. Tell them a little bit about this.
Well, Papa Joe and Riverboat started off as a group called the McGrombies, which became Papa Joe's Traveling Show, and then later on Papa Joe and Riverboat, when I joined the band in 1975, which this poster here, this was also Papa Joe and Riverboat, called Naked Wilson. And
but that's not why we're showing the poster. We're really showing the poster because it is Everybody's Pillow. Pillow. And this is at the Redemptorist High School gym. Just a concert, Friday concert over there.
Yes. And Naked Wilson opened for us, and little did I know that I would be playing with them and touring.
Well, and this also has Richmond Odom in it.
Yes.
And if Johnny remembers, Richmond Odom also played with Isosceles Popsicle.
Yes, indeed.
Okay.
Well, when I first came down here, I realized that Baton Rouge was a melting pot. And where I'm going with that is that in 1960, let's see, when I came down here in
69.
68.
Okay.
When you went 12 miles in either direction from Baton Rouge, you had a whole different culture of people and a whole different culture of music. If you went to Gonzales, you had the Van Broussard, the Boogie Kings, this, this, this. Baton Rouge has its own music scene. When you went to Livingston Parish, you had Ron Millette and the country, what was the name of the club over there?
Town and Country?
No. Not Louisiana Hayride, but the Old South Jamboree.
Oh, okay.
And it was a completely country place over there. Denham Springs, Walker, Livingston Parish, and everything. What I think changed Baton Rouge, New Orleans Pop Festival in 1969. There were so many bands up and coming like us in 1968 and 69. And all of a sudden, this pop culture came to Baton Rouge with national groups. We're talking Chicago Transit Authority, we're talking Can Heat, Iron Butterfly, Janis Joplin, everybody. And all of a sudden, the music here changed in the Baton Rouge area. And there was so many clubs to play here, and so many people. I want to just go down a couple of the list here.
And for some of you who don't remember, John is a drummer.
School trumpet player that wanted to be a drummer, so I became a drummer. But our first gig with Everybody's Pillow when the band actually formed by a fluke, because I was looking for a gig when I came down here for 8 months almost. And I became friends with a guy named Dennis Duvick at Music House at Eugene and Florida Street. Well, we got to talk, and I'd go in there and buy drumsticks and this and this and this. And he said, "You still hadn't found a gig after 8 months?" And I says, "No." He says, "Well, I got a couple of guys." He says, "At Baton Rouge High. They're football players." I said, "Well, this ought to be good, you know?" So it was Richmond Odom and Scott Neely. Great lead guitar player, great rhythm guitar player. Dennis played bass and I played drums. So our first rehearsal, which was at O'Neill's Music House, there was a knock on a door. The store was closed. And there's this girl out there. And she says, "Well, I want to look at a guitar or some strings or something." And Dennis says, "The store's closed." He says, "Well, we're closed." He says, "I came all the way from Madison over here. Can I come in and look?" And blah, blah. So next thing you know, he opened the door. So I walked up to the counter and I said, "Who are you?" She says, "Bonnie Guidry," now Bonnie Man. I said, "You sing?" She says, "Yeah." She looked over, she says, "You guys got a band?" I said, "Well, not really. This is our first rehearsal." So she grabbed the mic, and the rest was history.
Got in on the ground floor.
Yeah, that was it. So we really didn't have a whole lot of gigs. Our first little show that we did, we opened for Al Michael and the Collection at a place called Rocks on Nicholson Drive, which you know.
Yeah, I was,
in the shoot.
Part of both.
So we struggled along, and all of a sudden this gig with John Fred and the Playboys came up on Easter Sunday of 1968. And so anyway, Easter Sunday of 1969.
And at that point, Fred was my roommate.
Yeah, John Fred was his roommate. Well, anyway, so Sam Montel walked in, Lynn Orso was there, and Mike Shepard and several other people. And we did open the show, and John Fred played, and he says, "Well, I really like these kids, go ahead and book them." So the next thing you know, Lynn Orso took us under wing, and from then on, I mean, for the longest time, we played the CYO.
In fact, we got a business card out there I'd like to show. It's just a business card. You'll find it.
But we started playing the CYO centers. There was a lot of teen centers that we worked at.
GSA,
Great
The Pillow.
Yep.
Lynn Orso.
That was us. Yep.
Great South artist. And how did you get to Linwood? Linwood used to be Fred's manager.
Well, he took us under personal manager through Sam Montel. We were a Montel group, and he says, "Like these kids, book them." And all of a sudden, the gigs started rolling. And we were doing...
I did for a while. Linwood, I'm sure, did more.
Right. Oh, yeah, Linwood and a girl named Leigh Keller. Leigh Keller. Ronnie Shape took our first band pictures. But this led up a little bit further. We were playing the CYO Center, and we were playing Redemptress dances.
Like that one.
Like this one. And all of a sudden, this Creedence show popped up. And
I keep raising my hand. Stuff keeps getting mentioned.
Well, anyway, the Creedence show popped up, and they asked us, would we open the show? Well, yeah. So we did a TV show the week prior to the Creedence show, like on a Tuesday or Wednesday night. And I believe at that time there was something going on like on Saturdays or something called Montel Presents that was supposed to run us to promote the Creedence show.
There's SJ.
Which was, yes.
Sam in the bottom of that picture.
That's it.
With his Hugh Hefner beard and his blazer and his pipe.
That's him. And he was looking at the monitors, making sure everything was okay.
And I think we have a picture at WBRZ on stage too.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Yeah. But anyway, that started the whole Everybody's Pillow rolling.
There you are. That's WBRZ TV.
Yes. That was
Right,
it.
Ed?
That was it. We did a 30-minute show.
That's BRZ, right?
That's it, WBRZ. Yep.
Okay.
So anyway, but there was, after that, we were playing some teen centers in West Point, Georgia. We were doing Baker Civic Center. I booked a band 2 weeks in Michigan, and when we came back, we had taken this guy named Jim Land with us.
Mm-hmm.
And he did a whole feature on a group called paper called What's Happening Magazine.
Mm-hmm.
And it just so happened it was the week of the New Orleans Pop Festival.
That was a teen newspaper in
Yes.
Baton Rouge. Yeah.
That was it. Yeah. So, but anyway, it was a great start for all 5 of us musicians, myself included. I went on to be with many other bands. Bonnie Guidry, Bonnie Mann now, she went on with the Earl Rustin. Her and Linda Lally with Eternity Children. They were living in New York together. They went to Europe together. Richmond Odom went into the service and he left, but then he went on to play with the Popsicle and stuff. So yeah, it was a really good opening for everybody in the band, So, but I was just amazed at all the places to play here, because when I came down here, the drinking age was 18 years old, and it was 21 where I came from.
Yeah, it's a little more lax here.
Yeah. I want to tell you too, my first show here, I went to, local show. There was a place called the Rebel Drive-In Theater, and I found out they had bands there that opened up prior to the movie. And there was a group called the Joint Effort playing there.
With another drummer.
Yeah, with another drummer a guy named Jimmy Rank, who I met. And so, we got to be buddies and stuff. And I was just amazed that you had a drive-in theater that had a band before the movie. So, but my first big show was Jimi Hendrix. My first big show was Jimi Hendrix at that.
Holding that thought, we're going to take a break for a minute and come right back and talk about Jimi Hendrix.
That works for me.
Okay.
Louisiana, they're trying to wash us away.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me down. Taste the feeling.
Hi folks, Clarence Buggs here. Coach Roger Cador would take the time to tell you how to catch our brand new show, The Roger Cador Show, but as you can see, he's kind of busy right now out at Scoreboards, Baton Rouge's newest sports grill with food that is absolutely amazing. Catch the show 8 o'clock Tuesday nights, 6:30 p.m. on Wednesdays, and on Pelican Television's YouTube channel as well. You want to come out and have a great time. It's awesome, isn't it, Coach?
Mm-hmm.
Told you.
Frosty the snowman. This is my Christmas wish for you. The precious blessing of each other. May every man be your brother. This is my Christmas wish for you.
Look, your dad gave me his baby to go pick up your brother from the airport.
Oh, honey, just take Mom's car. She just had navigation installed.
I totally got this. We were just there.
Hey, isn't that...
Yep. I programmed the airport in, just in case.
You don't need a new car to have new technology. Mike's Audio, conveniently located on Airline Highway near the corner of Bluebonnet.
Louisiana. They're trying to
Hey,
wash
we are
us.
back again. We're going to close out this time. Tonight I wanted to recognize somebody that's in here. Ed Elkins from WFB.
Yeah.
Has been there for quite a few years, right? He's an audio recorder, a great guy. Ed's into music, and I appreciate you coming by. We're going to have you on here one night. I want to get with you and figure out who we want to have you on with. You got a lot to remember and a lot to say. You really do. Thank you, Ed. Okay, we're back with John Madison from Everybody's Pillow, and we were talking about Jimi Hendrix. What do you want to tell us about Jimmy?
Well, it was my first show in Baton Rouge, first concert that I had a chance to go to.
And it's funny because we had John up here. We can't remember what band y'all opened for with the Popsicle, but I remember you did. And Pillow opened for Jimi Hendrix with Everybody's Pillow.
No.
Oh,
Creedence Clearwater.
But John was very helpful at a lot of shows.
Yeah.
A lot of shows.
But anyway, it was amazing because I had missed Jimmy in Michigan before I moved down here twice. I had gone to Chicago and he was playing there, and then he played at Cobalt Hall. So when I found out he was playing here, I must have bought the first ticket that they had, and I said, I'm going to see him this time. So I had tickets for the first show, and it was like pretty amazing. My good friend Dennis Duvick that played with Everybody's Pillow, from what I understand, his marshals didn't get here.
They didn't.
Is that correct?
They didn't. They never left Shreveport.
And
we had 3 dates on Hendrix, and Shreveport preceded Baton Rouge, and no guitar amps were seen from Shreveport.
Right. So Mr. Berry, I believe, loaned
George Berry
all Sun amps to.
He had just going into Sun amps. He was real high on them. All JBL speakers. All.
Right.
So we didn't know anything about them. The Attorney's Children used Vox, and Vox were basically Marshalls.
Right.
But the Suns were supposed to be good, so we had no amps. George, can you send a truck down here? Yes. Okay, we had amps.
And guess what? You didn't have no drums.
Yeah, we didn't have drums either. But George had stuff.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
he
Mr.
loaned it
Berry
to me
was
too.
a really nice
Great guy.
man. Music house, you know. But that was a concert to remember. I wasn't there for the second show, but the first show was just absolutely slam dunk. Now, you were there for the second show, you know, and that was my first concert here in Baton Rouge, and there was just so many places and so much going on with. Well, Thunderbirds Beat was still around back then, but I was just amazed at all the groups here. I remember when I moved over to Violet Street in late '68, I walked over to a place called the Coconut Grove. I seen this guy named Duke Royal. I said, wow.
With his big hair.
Everybody had big
Wayne Cochran hair.
And I walked across the street and saw this group called Smoke, which was about as different as Night and Day. That was Leon Medica.
No horns.
No, I mean
Very
Jimi
laid
Hendrix,
back.
Cream, the whole shooting match. And I was just so impressed. You know, I didn't know anybody here. Everybody treated me nice, and I'd introduce myself, and you know, like this and that and the other. But the amount of venues that we had here was just amazing. And until 1970, And the pop festivals, which we go to, my next venue that I went to was the Festival of Man and Earth. And also to the McRae Festival.
Thunderbird Beach Pop Festival.
That was something. And there was a great lineup.
You found something in McRae?
Oh yeah, the festival, a celebration of life.
Yeah, but you found something actually going on?
No.
No. I'll rest my case.
Went up there and waited for music. It never happened. But I tell you what, the Festival of Man and Earth was great. The Buckinghams, I mean.
Eternity's Children.
Eternity's Children, yes. I didn't play the show, but
Yeah.
it was a great lineup.
And what was Get Together? The Youngbloods.
Youngbloods, yeah.
And I remember taking Chuck in across 10,000 people in a limo with him instructing the limo driver to bring the windows down and yelling at all 15-year-old girls out the window. I said, put the windows up and lock them.
Woohoo! Yeah, that was fun.
He got a little worried, and I said, Chuck, you've already done jail time in St. Louis. You don't want to fool with these people in Livingston Parish, Louisiana. Trust me.
This is true. That was a good show. Nothing in McRae though.
Yeah,
kept waiting for music, and
I went up there with Boss Gags and Alice and Brownsville Station.
Mm-hmm.
We got there. There was no security. It was wide open. Went backstage. It was nothing but mud. And as we're standing there, this guy comes running across and says, "Hey man, call me," and jumps in the limo. It was Stephen Stills.
Well,
he knew something. He left.
Well, I was so impressed. Another thing I wanted to touch on, I wanted to give a couple plugs to my very good friends. Pot Liquor. Come out, I mean, my guitar player, Michael McQuaig, who I played with in several other bands, also played with Pot Liquor. But they were a Southern rock band. My buddies, who I played with, Monkey Pig, who he managed, which turned out to be the Love Rakers, which was the Love Rakers from back in the
Alva,
60s.
Fat Tom.
I had the pleasure of playing with a group called Shapper's Harp. And I don't know, Linda Hayes was an amazing, she lives in England now. And it was myself, Steve Hutter, Michael McQuaig.
Didn't you used to practice at Alan Traylor's?
Alan opened his
you heard that,
place
Alan?
up. Yes, you did. And we used to rehearse there every night almost. If we weren't playing, we were rehearsing. We played and played and played and played.
And my sound system was in the garage next to where y'all were practicing.
Yes, and Alan took, and so that the neighbors wouldn't be bothered, he put all tinfoil, insulation in there, and put it backwards, and then we'd use lights in there. It was pretty cool, but yeah, it was good. I want you to tell me a little bit, because you know him so well, and he was such a great guy, was John Fred.
He was.
He was
one of
a gentleman.
The nicest guys you could ever meet. He was instrumental in a lot of people's careers. He tried to help people constantly. He knew a lot about music, especially early blues.
Oh, yeah.
Fred was an early blues freak. We're talking about 78s.
Mm-hmm.
We were roommates. You said Violet Street. We were on Alaska Street.
Mm-hmm.
And I had John Fred and Charlie Spinoza and Hal Ellis were my roommates. And down the street we had the Roadies, and 2 or 3 houses down. And 2 or 3 houses down from them we had Lonnie Goodson,
oh, yeah,
trumpet player, and Bill Ray.
Wow.
And Jim Ray. So we had a nice not conservative bloc.
Well,
But the thing was, with Fred and the band having made it with Judy, I had a Corvette. Fred was married and had a child and had a Grand Prix. No, a Bonneville. It was a straight Bonneville. Charlie Spinoza had a T-Bird. Hal had a Corvette. Lonnie Goodson had a Riviera GS. You know, the neighborhood on Nicholson, First Block, was not car poor.
Well, but I tell you what, I was just so amazed how, various parts of the city, like the LSU area, you had the Keg, you had, was it Green Turtle?
Yeah.
Yeah. You had the Speakeasy right there. You had the Colonel's Club, all in the same area, and they all had entertainment. It was just one of the first bands that I got a chance to see that I just absolutely loved was War Babies. Skippy Varnado, Courtney Westbrook, and at that time I think Terry Burhans was playing with them, and Tim Rocket, and then. When Terry left, I think they got the late, great Billy Shumsky, who I had my first drum lesson and only drum lesson from. Great drummer.
And I got to tell all of y'all,
okay,
John is an excellent rock drummer. He's one of the best.
Thank you very much.
That we've had around here.
Thank you so much,
You're welcome.
Michael.
I mean it.
Thank you
It's
very
the
much.
truth.
I appreciate it.
And Jay Amoroso, sort of in the same area. People that are popular now, like Eddie Smith, is not as technical and as great a drummer as John is.
Well, thank you.
Johnny and Jerry are more akin to each other in the technical abilities.
Right.
Technical. My tongue broke.
Just remember, I'm a school trumpet player.
That's why you knew music.
But
most drummers don't know music like that. And I got to tell you that we got to go shortly.
Okay.
So is there anything you want to say to wind up?
Well, you know what? I want to thank all the people that's helped me over these years and opened doors and worked with records and this and this. And it's been a great thing just being in the entertainment business here in Baton Rouge and everywhere I've been. And thank y'all so much for the people that's helped me. I can't thank you enough. Giving me a chance when nobody else would.
And I will say that John is like that himself. If people are working some in the music business, he won't ever cut them down.
No.
He wants to help. He wants to be helpful and friendly to people in this business.
Why not?
Thank
and
you,
as
John.
Sam says, you're never too old to rock and roll. What can I say?
And look, folks, we're going to be back next week with some more guests. Then we're going to have a special Christmas show on Christmas night. And how much time we got left, Morty?
25.
Oh, okay. We'll get 25 seconds to schmooze.
Okay.
And we're going to be playing a lot of these items off of this CD product. We want y'all to come in and enjoy it. And we do have great food in here, okay? We're gonna get some when we finish and out of here. That way we don't have to watch the cameras while we eat.
Some people got away all right. Well, they have busted through, clear down the Plaquemine. 6 feet of water in the streets of Evangeline. Louisiana, Louisiana, they're trying to wash us away. They're trying to wash us away. Louisiana, Louisiana, they're trying to wash us away.